Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to this episode of Coach Caris Itchy Bitchy and Guests podcast, where I speak about all things midlife. However, this is my week 4 transformation update. So, if you're listening for the first time, we are on week 4 of, well, just about into week 5. So, last week was week 4 of my 16-week body transformation. So, 53 years old now, and I've decided that I'd like to change my body composition. So I'm just going to strip away a wee layer of fat and get some muscles popping, and this is my little story. So this week I've called it Birthdays, Holidays and the 5 kilogram scale illusion. Very exciting. So anyway, right, week 4 of my 16-week transformation, and I've got a wee story for you, my lovelies. So I'm just back from a glorious long weekend celebrating my 53rd birthday. 53, how the fuck did that happen? With brilliant friends, obviously, and Cal, my husband, and my dog. And if you're anything like me, or 99% of the women that come to me to be coached on midlife fat loss and nutrition, you absolutely know how holidays go in your head versus how they go in reality. So I did go into this weekend with the best of intentions. I know what I'm doing. I'm a nutrition coach, all right? I know I have coached loads of women on fat loss in midlife, and I, for the very first time ever, this is the first time I have been on holiday slap bang in the middle of a fat loss phase. And I was like, I'm totally going to smash it. I'm going to track every single calorie. I'm going to hit my calories. I'm going to hit my macros. And I'm going to be very strict with myself and stay on target. Did that happen? Did it fuck? Of course it didn't. Absolutely did not, right? I have learned so many lessons. So many lessons. Right, so I had a choice, all right, and I encourage all my clients to do this, to make this choice as well, right? What I encourage my clients to do is to decide what they are going to do before they go on holiday. So are they going to stay 100% focused, practice saying no to things, stick to their calories and stick to their macros? Because let's face it, right, if you're in a fat loss phase and you're on holiday, right, you do not have the calories to wing it. You don't have the calories to have cake every day. You don't have the calories to have a takeaway every night and a couple of pints every day. It's just not possible. So I would ask them to choose whether they do this or not, or whether to track their calories regardless, right? Just do what they need to do what they want to do, but track regardless. Now, I find that this helps people get back into it when they come back quicker and easier because they've been using MyFitnessPal when they're away, right? Or you put your phone away, you use your week's holiday or your couple of days holiday or whatever as a chance just to give yourself some brain space, and you just practice being mindful, right? There's always a fourth option, just saying, fuck it, and just go all in, right? And pop it right out the window. So for the first time ever in my entire life, I went into this weekend thinking I am going to absolutely smash it. I'm going to say no thank you. I'm not going to eat out every night. I'm going to sort myself out. Even if everybody else is getting a takeaway or whatever, I'm going to sort myself out, right? Did I do that? No, I fucking did not. So my plan B, which was cobbled together really quickly when I decided that I wasn't going to say no thank you. I wasn't going to toodle off to the supermarket to get myself some chicken and salad when everybody else was eating. There's a place called Pappy's, by the way, American barbecue. The barbecue, the slow barbecue, all their own meat. It's amazing. Anyway, I wasn't going to do that. So I decided the deal that I would do with myself was whenever we were eating out, I would eat half a portion. Because portions are massive anyway, right? You all know that. If you have a takeaway or whatever, like I had brisket loaded nachos, they were, I kid you not, they were the size of a small child. They were absolutely massive. So it was actually pretty easy to just eat half. I didn't feel starving. I didn't feel deprived. So that was what I did. Shared cake. So I'd like half a cake, all right? Anyway, that was quickly cobbled together. So Thursday morning was baked oats for breakfast. Thursday lunch was a takeaway salad, which was piss easy, to be fair. And then we didn't have any car sweets, didn't have any car coffee, drank cans of Diet Cola, got my water in, got there, and had a wee wander, went for a walk, and then our friends arrived, and we just decided that we would just go out and have a wee wander around Kendal, and then go for a pint. 3 pints later. Right, now, for those that follow me, I hardly drink. You know that. This is only my second drink since November. 3 pints, yeah, I was drunk. Anyway, right. And what happens when we're drunk? Any willpower we've got, any semblance of order goes out the window. All right. So I did manage to do my deal with myself that I would just eat half a portion, which was amazing. Right. So, but I also decided that I would track everything, right, regardless of whether it hit my calories and my macros, because the problem for me, this is just a personal thing, right? You need to figure out what your thing is. The biggest hurdle for me is coming off of MyFitnessPal for a couple of days and then trying to get back into it. I really, really struggle. So I find it easier if I am doing fat loss just to track regardless. So I tracked everything regardless. I was nowhere near my calories or my macros. I was well over my calories, well under my protein, definitely, right? But I did track everything, regardless of whether I hit my target or I was way past it. Every evening we ate out, right? So we either had, I can't even remember what we had actually. We had a Chinese takeaway one night, we had Pappy's one night, we had Sunday lunch, and I'm sure there was something else I can't. Oh, I had a kebab. A chicken kebab instead of a doner kebab. Normally I would go all in and have half a large doner kebab, so I just had a regular chicken kebab. Ate half of that, ate half the Chinese, ate half the Pappy's, ate half the Sunday dinner. But I did have a pudding, ate half the pudding, shocking, right? So it did work. Well, my goal worked. So I came away from the weekend thinking that I hadn't completely kicked the arse out of it, all right? We took baked oats with us because we had a day left. Also went to Marks and Spencer's and got that amazing baked apple skyr yogurt, which I absolutely love and don't eat very often. So we had that with some berries and stuff for breakfast, which was cool. When we were in Marks and Spencer's, we bought some picky bits for lunch. So like their Rolitos, their little mini salads, their olives. So we had them for lunch, and again I could control the portions, which was cool, right? But I did also have cake. I also had a couple of pints, loads of posh coffee. It was amazing, right? On top of all of this, the sleep was pretty much non-existent. It was roasting. I haven't been sleeping well anyway. Haven't slept particularly well since we moved into this house because it's warm and we're not used to it yet. Also, this is hilarious. Two couples, me and Carl and Michael, all right. So there was one parking space between the two of them, between the two of us. So we stole the parking space because we were there first. But the deal was that we left Carl and Michael the king size bed. So we were in single beds, right? Which was like, oh my God, I'm totally going to starfish the single bed. We're going to get the best night's sleep ever. No, that was not the case because it was actually roasting. All right. And anyway, when you're tired, your willpower tank is empty. So, in my head, I did very well to actually stick to my half portion plan B because I'd already fucked plan A out the window, right? Also, I didn't step foot in the gym. I didn't take any of my training gear with me. Pretty much to give my knees a rest. I have synovitis in both knees at the moment, which is swelling of the membrane that holds the synovial fluid, and this is just due to the official spiel is consistently overloading the knees. This has basically been since the CrossFit quarterfinals, right? Obviously, I went all in, and I'm still a bit sore, so didn't do my knees very well. Anyway, so it was in forced rest. So pretty much lounged on the couch, which was obviously amazing. Watched absolute shite on the TV. I have never watched. Carol got me into watching. I can't even remember what it's called. Murder 24/7 or something, alongside 24 Hours in Police Custody. Totally hooked. Honestly, watched so many psycho stories about neighbours and ex-boyfriends. Oh, it was mental, but it was also really good. We walked Jasper, obviously, and caught up with Carl and Michael, which is amazing. Haven't actually seen them since we went to York in December, so that was lovely. Also, another lesson learned is that if I'm not in the gym in the morning doing my 2 hours of coaching and training, my steps are shit. Can absolutely knock out 4,500 steps before 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, not so much when you're sitting on the sofa. So my steps were lower as well. But it was a weekend of rest, fun, and just an excuse to celebrate. Like 53, who cares if you're 53 on your birthday? It's not like you're 12, 13, 14, do you know what I mean, 21 anymore. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Right, so anyway, the science, the scales and the science, all right? So on Tuesday morning, so we went down Thursday, came back Monday. Straight back to it when we came back, all right, we had pasta and chicken and homemade pesto for dinner on Monday night. So tempted to go to the chippy, but we did not. And then Tuesday morning, on the scales Tuesday morning, right? Holy fuck. That's exactly what you would say if this happened to you and you didn't understand the science of how the scales work, all right? 5.1 kilograms of an increase, obviously, not of a decrease, of an increase. 5.1 kilograms. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days. That is a kilogram a day, in case you are really thick and you can't add up, all right? Right, if you don't understand how the human body works, that number will literally make your heart drop, right? You will be absolutely gutted. Your brain instantly goes, holy fuck, I have actually fucked everything. I've put on over a stone of fat in 4 days, right? Now, if you say that out loud, you will understand how ridiculous that is, right? It is literally impossible, I kid you not, impossible to put on 5.1 kilograms of body fat in a long weekend. It's ridiculous, all right? To gain, I'll give you an example of this, right? To gain 5 kilograms of pure fat, you would have to consume, roughly, right, 38,000 calories over and above your maintenance calories, right? So 38,000, if I was on, that means I would need to eat, I'm going to have to actually work that out on my calculator. Right, so 38,000 divided by 5, because I was away for 5 days, 7,600 over my maintenance calories of 2,300. I would actually need to eat 9,900 calories a day to gain 5 kilograms of body fat, all right? This is why I know it's not body fat, right? No, it wasn't body fat. It was absolute water weight, right? I was dehydrated because I'd been eating a lot of salty food, right? I'd also eaten a lot of carbs. There's probably a bit of inflammation going on in my body due to lack of sleep, all right? When we've got lack of sleep, our body acts as if it's stressed and it's that fight or flight mode, all right? You do get inflammation. I've also got sore knees, all right? So I've got inflammation for that and lower activity, right? So that 5.1 kilograms of scale weight, I just need to drink a gallon of water and do a big jobby. That's pretty much what we need to do, all right? I maybe need to drink a gallon of water and do a big jobby for a couple of days in a row, but it'll sort itself out. So this morning when I stepped on the scales, we are down by 3.7, I think it's 3.7, no, 3.4 kilograms have disappeared overnight, right? Again, not body fat, but if you're the person that attaches your worth to the scales, that will make you feel slightly better, all right? But this is how you know. If the scales jump quickly within a day, 2 days, or drop quickly within a day, 2 days, right, it is not body fat. I need you to remember this, ladies, because there's far too many of you out there that attach your self-worth and whether you're a nice person or not to the scale weight, all right? And it's not cool. So the difference on Thursday there and Tuesday morning was a 5.1 increase kilograms. The difference between Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning was a 3.4 kilogram drop. right? Now that is not fat, right? Read it. Scale weights fluctuate all times of the year, right? Regardless of what you've been doing, they will fluctuate, right? It could be too hot, you've ate too much salty food, you've not ate enough salty food, you've had more carbs than normal, you've had more food than normal, you've not trained as much, you've done more steps, you've done less steps, you've drank too much water, you've drank not enough water, all right? You haven't slept well, you've slept really well. There's just there's nothing you can control about it, all right? So also the scale is measuring everything in your body. It's measuring your bones, it's measuring your body fat, your body mass, it's measuring your fluid, it's measuring any food that's not been processed yet, it's measuring the food that's been processed that hasn't been pooped out yet, right? It is not measuring your overall body fat, it's measuring everything, your entire weight of your body, right? If you are dehydrated, the scales will jump up, definitely. So this is what I want you to take away from this today. If you're going to go on holiday, right, yes, everybody should go on holiday. If you're going to enjoy the birthday, right, if you're going to eat the cake, if you're going to have a couple of pints, if you're going to have some salty food, if you're going to have some takeaway food, if you're going to take a break from the gym, right, it doesn't ruin whatever fat loss you're in. What ruins the fat loss that you're doing at this moment in time is stepping on the scales on the day after you come back for your holidays, seeing a temporary spike, panicking and thinking, well, I fucked it now, and continuing with that party mindset for the next 3 weeks. That's the problem. All right, the holidays are not the problem. The meal out is not the problem. The one night of partying is not the problem. It's continuing that party mindset for the next 3 weeks, right? It's not the holiday, it's the fuck it attitude that you allow to continue for the next 3 to 4 weeks. That is the problem. Now, if I'd stepped on the scales yesterday and I had a 5.1 kilogram increase and thought, fuck it, right, didn't eat my breakfast, just went and decided to have some Haribo, went out to the pub for my lunch or whatever and had a chippy for my tea, right, those scales would not have dropped this morning because I'd still be dehydrated. I'd still probably need a big jobby. I'd probably be constipated, to be fair, if I did all of that, right? And that makes the scales go heavier. So holidays, they're just a normal part of life, ladies. But being in a fat loss phase, yes, I want it to be over with. And yes, I've said at the end of the 16 weeks, wherever I am, that is absolutely cool. All right. All I'm trying to do, remember, I'm not trying to lose loads of body fat. I've lost 2.5 stone already, maybe near 3 stone to be fair. All I'm trying to do is strip away that last little layer of body fat and get some muscles popping. So that's why I'm trying to hit my macros as well as my calories, all right? Calories are for fat loss, macros are for muscle. It doesn't mean you need to live like a hermit or refuse to eat a slice of cake on your birthday, right? But you need to do a deal with yourself. I have effectively chosen to put my fat loss goals on hold for a week to enjoy some time with my friends. That is pretty much what I chose to do. Admittedly, it was not the plan when I set out, but that's ultimately what the plan was, all right? I enjoyed the break. You need to enjoy your holidays as well. Accept the temporary water weight spike. That's all it is. And then calmly just get right back into it. Right back into your normal habits the very next morning, right? No drama, no guilt, no starving yourself. So scales will sort themselves out in a few days, just like mine are just now. So if you've got a holiday coming up, my lovelies, or you've just come back from a weekend away, I want you to breathe, all right? Trust the process. Trust the process. Get your water in, hit your daily habits, sort your sleep out, drink your water twice, all right? Get straight back to it. Get back to your calories, get back to your macros. That little metal box that sits on the bathroom floor and does fuck all for 23 hours and 55 minutes every day, right? Do not let it ruin your life. Do not. All right. Have a fantastic. Have a fantastic week, ladies. All right. That was week 4 update. I will see you for week 5 very soon. Ta-ta.